Υποτίθεται ότι τα πράγματα θα τελείωναν διαφορετικά. Ενώ όλες οι προηγούμενες ομάδες είχαν περάσει ομαλά από αυτό το Ινστιτούτο, για κάποιο λόγο με τη συγκεκριμένη κολεκτίβα αυτού του μήνα, οι ρογμές ήταν ορατές εξ αρχής.
Wider? Wider, please.
Why?
Sorry, that's what the director asked for.
And you obey her every command?
A suggestion more than a command. But feel free to try something different if you so wish.
John Stevens.
Beginning as you mean to go on then?
I just like to be in control of how I'm portrayed.
Don't we all? But may I suggest a more conciliatory tone with our dossier here? He's just doing his job.
By God, you have strong breath.
Sorry.
And an acute case of reflux, which might explain the extraordinary stench. You just experiencing heartburn, or are there other problems?
Bloating, perhaps, and maybe wind?
You mean flatulence?
Yes.
How unfortunate. Well, I can prescribe something and we can take a view on how things are in a few weeks. But I suspect that one might do well to heed the teachings of Hippocrates in this instance. What do you think? You do know Hippocrates?
I know the name, but...
You're a writer and you haven't read Hippocrates?
I'm just a hack.
And hacks don't read?
Well, maybe I've read something, but I can't remember right now with this anxiety and these problems.
Let food be thy medicine. Remarkable how such a simple yet profound tenet can last through the centuries. But besides a sensible diet, it might serve you well not to eat too close to your bedtime. And if you raise your pillow, it might prevent any excess acid from surging and making you whispered about unfavorably by your boss.
Thank you.
And I trust that this bill will go to her?
Yes.
The life of a hack. I know several writers who would claim that such work is beneath them.
You must know some wealthy writers, then.
I couldn't imagine anything worse than your job. Having to humour and indulge a different set of feckless faux provocateurs each month. Still, one might argue that it can't be any worse than peering into foul-smelling orifices for a living.
Sorry.
And who's in residence this month?
Silence from an audience was always my fear. And anything I could do to break that silence became more important than anything else. To hear a laugh, a gasp, a cry, or even a protest was validation. To taste their shock is to be controlled by it. And with that, the need to go further and further into oblivion.
Cooking and performing is always a hazard. I could tell you about countless accidents with other collectives here.
This was not an accident.
Why?
Because the applause would be ecstatic. The pain was an insignificance. You don't see?
I'm not a performer.
Yes, but you're right. You're still looking for validation.
If I hear the sound of a page turning, I'm content.
Maybe you'd feel differently if it was your work. Why don't you try?
Some might argue that even an instruction manual has some imprint from the writer.
So there is something of you in what you write about me.
And how much of you is in this?
You mean the performance? Everything.
And Billy and Lamina?
They're here to realize what's in me.
And that's how they see it.
Not quite. Sometimes they try to put their stamp on things. Especially Lamina.
But you're a collective.
Every collective needs a leader. And besides, I could replace them and nothing would change.
And you want to replace them?
We'll see. I love them. But sometimes love can mean more by walking away.
Wouldn't it be easier to compromise?
No.
That's what they all say when they come in here.
I thought you believed in creative freedom.
To a degree. Give anyone too much freedom in anything, and it's often counterproductive.
I wish you lacked director.
I'm not going to steamroll over her, and I'm not going to give her notes for the sake of giving notes. But if I feel something's going in the wrong direction, I need to voice it. It's not as if I haven't given free rein to other sonic caterers. Has she decided on the name?
L and the fatty acids. But she wants to sleep on it.
She really has to decide before we go to print. She can't keep changing her mind like this. Jan Stevens.
They don't take kindly to being ignored.
They are still not leaving you alone.
Οι αποστάσεις που τηρούσα από τους υπόλοιπους της ομάδας είχαν περισσότερο να κάνουν με τα γαστρεντερικά μου προβλήματα παρά με κάποια επίφαση δημοσιογραφικής αυρότητας. Τηρούσα όσο μεγαλύτερη απόσταση μπορούσα, απλά και μόνο λόγω της ανάγκης μου να ξαλαφρώνω, χωρίς να γίνομαι αντιληπτός. Ο τεχνικός Βιν δεν το έκανε καθόλου ευκολότερο, με την περιφρόνηση που έδειχνε σε μένα και σε όποιον άλλο πατούσε το πόδι του στο Ινστιτούτο. Όταν πήγαινα στην τουαλέτα να ενεργηθώ, κάθε φορά που ξαλάφρωνα, τραβούσα ταυτόχρονα και το καζανάκι, ελπίζοντας ότι δεν θα με άκουγαν οι υπόλοιποι της ομάδας στον ξενώνα που μοιραζόμασταν απέναντι από το Ινστιτούτο. Ο τυμπανισμός συνεχιζόταν ανηλαιώς, παρόλο που σπάνια συνοδευόταν από δυσοσμία. Η συνεχής προσπάθεια που κατέβαλα για να συγκρατώ ή να αποσιωπώ τους ήχους μου είχε αρχίσει να μου φαίνεται εισάξια μιας κανονικής θεατρικής παράστασης. Οι περίπατοι περισυλλογής στου χώρου του Ινστιτούτου Αισθήσης Sonic διαρκούσαν κάτι λιγότερο από μία ώρα. Οι περίπατοι αυτοί αποτελούσαν κέριο στάδιο της όλης διαδικασίας και ήθελα να τους καταγράφω. Κατά τη διάρκεια δεν ανταλλάσσαν ούτε μια λέξη και αυτή η σιωπή έδινε χώρο να ανασυρθούν οι αμφιβολίες και οι φόβοι τους που δεν μπορούσαν να τους εκφράσουν με λόγια όταν τους έπαιρνα συνέντευξη. Το φάρμακο του γιατρού Γκλοκ δεν με ανακόφιζε καθόλου και η αφόρητη δυσφορία που υπέφερα στην προσπάθεια να συγκρατήσω τα αέρια μου είχε μετατρέψει τις κοινωνικές μου συναναστροφές σε εφιάλτη. Αποζητούσα να είμαι μόνος. Και αν δεν μπορούσα να μείνω μόνος, αποζητούσα το θόρυβο. Το θόρυβο που προκαλούσε η κάθε γαστρονομική κολεκτίβα κατά τη διάρκεια της φιλοξενίας της. Θόρυβος που ήταν καθαρτικός, εξαγνιστικός και μπορούσε να με κάνει να ξεχάσω, αλλά και να αποσιωπήσει τα αέρια μου από τους άλλους. Όμως η μεγαλύτερη δοκιμασία για το ατίθασο στομάχι μου έμελε να είναι η εκδήλωση γνωριμίας με τα μέλη του Διοικητικού Συμβουλίου του Ινστιτούτου, που την ακολούθησαν οι λεγόμενες μετά του δείπνου ομιλίες.
Jan Stevens?
Nobody rejects us and lives to tell the tale.
Make sure the table is laid in a tasteful manner and that condiments are within. What?
They're waiting for you.
Tell them I'm not ready.
It's just a speech. It's not like it's a big deal.
Oh, really? I'll remind you of that when it's your turn.
Yeah, whatever.
And Billy, applaud with enthusiasm this time. Okay? Always remember to put a beer in the fridge.
For a journalist, you don't talk much.
I'm not really a journalist. I'm just hired to document things here.
So what would I call you then?
John Stevens calls me the dossiers.
And what would you call yourself?
I don't know. I write.
Write what?
Thoughts, feelings, questions.
You mean stories?
I don't know if you can call them stories.
And where can I read those thoughts, feelings, and questions?
You'd have to burgle me to read them.
Why don't you get them published?
I tried, but it's not easy. Meanwhile, I need to make some money, so...
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? It gives me great pleasure to introduce our first after-dinner speech of the residency. Whilst we mostly encourage the artistic pursuit of alimentary and culinary salvation to be done as public performance, the after-dinner speech offers more relaxed, convivial surroundings in which to continue our investigation into an array of interculinary disciplines and experiment with anecdotes or just simple ideas that maybe wouldn't work on a less intimate canvas. LDL speech, she tells me.
Speech is maybe too reductive a term for what I'm about to do. For what I will read is found text and comes from an old housemaking manual that belonged to my mother. Edna May's Supper School. Lively recipes and fun tips to preserve your man's love. As a child, I wanted to be the model housewife. And this book was my Bible until I began to question what I was reading. I once saw my mother wipe away a tear in the kitchen. And she tried to pretend it was the onions, but I could see how tired she was compared to my father, who was often pretending to work upstairs, but just masturbating to the tennis ladies' annual. Edna May was what every woman knew their spouses wanted them to be. However, it wasn't clear if that woman on the cover was this mythical Edna May, or even if there ever was an Edna May, since the perspective in the book was very much in favor of a man's comfort. Which made me question who wrote it.
And what if this Edna May genuinely enjoyed cooking?
Does that look like a real smile to you?
Personally, I think you're reading too much into it.
Maybe that's her subtle way of subverting those patriarchal commandments in the book. A chink in her smile.
That's not a chink. That's a genuine, heartfelt smile. You're merely projecting your own resentful ideology onto the poor woman's face.
Just as thousands of men projected their born idle and selfish ideology onto that poor woman's face, trying to turn their wives into an Edna May. Generations of us were led to believe by these men, Dr. Glock, that our role was only in the kitchen.
My mum never cooked.
Yeah, it shows.
See? Just by that comment, you imply that's only a woman's job to do such tasks.
I suppose you never read about the Minoans?
So, I should put a sock in my mouth just because they tried it the matriarchal way thousands of years ago?
Both of my parents cooked and they never counted.
This is an after-dinner speech, not a debate. If you all allow me to read you Edna May's 10 Commandments of the Kitchen on page 9, then you can decide for yourselves whether it was written by a woman or a man. And if by a woman, was that something she really believed in? Why are you smiling?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Smiling in appreciation. Don't let me hold you back. Be a good chap and pass me the mint sauce, would you?
1. Keep a small notepad in your handbag for grocery lists, chores, and friendly reminders from your husband. 2, get to know your local grocer so you can be primed for the best quality food. 3, remember to don a figure-hugging dress for when your husband returns tired from work. 4, make sure the table is laid in a tasteful manner and that condiments are within easy reach for your husband. 5, always remember to put a beer in the fridge for when your husband gets thirsty after his drive home from work. 6, get some fresh air by walking round the block or call on your neighbor to indulge in some local gossip. 7, good posture makes you look more attractive when serving food and lowers the risk of back pain. 8, time spent cooking is time in which you can dream about the things you want out of life, even if they might not be possible. 9, notice amusing and delightful events during your day and recount them to your husband during supper time. He'll be appreciative. 10, if, after following these kitchen commandments, you find yourself unable to please your husband, seek medical advice from your doctor and take the pills he gives you. Thank you for listening to my wonderful after-dinner speech. What's your problem?
I'm sorry. I couldn't take it in there.
Why?
You try living with her for days on end, and you'll see.
Ah, there he is. You missed the review. All manner of meta and contra-patriarchal points made in your absence. The previous dossiers Jan hired would never have been so disrespectful.
I am sorry. I just needed some air.
Pill's not working.
Let's see.
So, you're still flatulent, old billion.
Flatulent? Who's flatulent?
Nobody's flatulent. Just some indigestion.
You haven't touched your food.
You'd know all about that.
Fasting, are we?
I've noticed 3 days now and you're hardly eating.
They say it is 3 days now that her lips have fasted, that she has kept her body pure from Demeter's grain.
Could you please pass me the bread?
I take it that didn't ring a bell?
Sorry?
Phaedra's fasting, Hippolytus, Euripides. You haven't read Euripides?
Ευρυπίδης.
What did he just say?
What happened?
The mangrove snacks.
Who are the mangrove snacks?
They applied for the residency. They didn't get it.
And this is how they respond?
Happens all the time, this kind of thing. For every culinary collective I offer a residency to, a dozen others give me hell for rejecting them. I have a whole folder filled with poison pen letters.
I'm sorry.
I'm used to it, sadly.
Why did you reject them?
I don't like what they do to terrapins.
So you only chose me because I'm vegetarian?
I'm not going to get drawn on my selection process. All I will say is it involves a huge amount of thought and responsibility. I'll ignore your facile comments since we welcome carnivores as much as herbivores. Ultimately, I'd consider the mangrove snacks if they actually had any talent. Only for your exclusive information, they can't even do transgression very well.
If it was me, I'd grab the mangrove snacks by their shriveled little testicles.
Can we leave it, please? I'd rather focus on our trip to the shops
Yes, but
tomorrow.
we're dealing with rascals here. If it was me, I'd make a stew out of their lousy...
You're in the shops. You're looking around. Items all around you. Maybe you need some tomatoes for that soup. Squeeze them to make sure they're ripe. You're pushing your trolley along, looking around, and there's Mrs. Cheeverly. You don't really like her, but a quick nod of the head will suffice, and that will allow you to proceed to the dairy counter. Maybe you could ask the cheese laddie to slice you a few 100 grams of Tellagio and he can wrap it up for you. He licks his fingers before taking the wrapping, and you don't really like that, but you're too polite to say anything. Put the cheese back in your trolley and head to the spice cabinet. Some herbe de Provence to sprinkle on the soup. But wait, there's nothing like that here. Look surprised. Look bereft. A little more bereft. That's it. But it's time to move on. There's a promotion stall. And some samples. Avocado paste on a crispy rye base, sprinkled with piment d'Espelette. You can try one. Tastes good. And you try your luck and take another sample, hoping the vendor won't make any comments. But the guilt makes you choke. Oh no. Time for the Heimlich maneuver. That's it. Harder. 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 Congratulations. Now pay for your items.
At what age did you decide you wanted to be in a culinary collective?
My whole life. It seemed ungraspable for an underdog like me, but I had to find a way. I remember as a child when I'd sit with my parents watching Sonic caterers on a television, and I was transfixed by the intensity and the deliberation of sound. But it felt ridiculous to dream on something that everyone wanted to do. It was indoctrinated in us from an early age that certain callings in life were beyond our reach. Especially if, like me, you went to a rundown school.
And what gave you the conviction?
Only one thing. The memory of Miss Lindenson, dying at my birthday party. She was my kindergarten teacher, and she was allergic to nuts, and the kitchen staff didn't pay attention when making the cake. A big chocolate wonder cake. She went into an anaphylactic shock as soon as she ate her slice. Her face started to swell up, and the other children started to laugh, thinking how comical it looked. I screamed for help, and she started to gasp for breath. The other teacher called an ambulance, but nothing could save her in time. How something so tasty for me that could be so deadly for her completely changed the way I thought about food.
I'm sorry.
All this is in her honor. Yes. whole life. They'll think we are amateurs now.
I wouldn't be so hard on yourself. It's your first performance.
But he had it right in rehearsals.
So it's all my fault, is it?
It's not my thing that went wrong.
Yeah, pretending to be a dead pig. Even a toddler can do that.
You try going naked on stage with all those people. You think it's easy?
Congratulations, all of you.
John Stevens.
Sorry, we were just trying to work out what went wrong.
Why, sorry. I thought it was very involving. A promising first concert. Wonderful, in fact.
Could have been much better if he knew how to press buttons.
You're on a residency. Remember that. The whole point of a residency is to allow space for trial and error. It's the last concert that counts. Everything leading up to that is just practice. The audience understand.
They liked it?
They loved it.
Huh.
Isn't that right, Stones?
We had a good time, yes?
And now they're waiting to pay tribute.
Really?
Really? They're outside. What should I do?
Send them in.
Κατά τη διάρκεια της φιλοξενίας των γαστρονομικών κολεκτίβων, οι εκδηλώσεις προς τιμή του κοινού αποτελούσαν πάντα το σκέλος που μου άρεσε λιγότερο. Δεν μου ήταν καθόλου εύκολο να γράφω για την εμπειρία του να είσαι μάρτυρας αυτής της εκρηκτικής εκδήλωσης υπέρμετρης διαχειτικότητας, ειδικά μετά από μια επίδειξη σφαγής. Τουλάχιστον το φλογερό πάθος που ξεδιπλώνονταν μπροστά μου με αποσπούσε από τον πόνο που ένιωθα, από το φόβο ότι το στομάχι μου θα με ντρόπιαζε, θα με υπονόμευε, ότι θα στρεφόταν εναντίον μου και θα με κατέστρεφε. Από πού πηγάζουν αυτά τα ατέρμονα αέρια που κάνουν το στομάχι μου να φουσκώνει σαν μπαλόνι? Γιατί επιμένουν? Όταν γίνομαι μάρτυρας κοινών χαράς και ανεμελιάς, πάντα έρχεται στο μυαλό μου αυτή η σκέψη. Γιατί το στομάχι ενός μπορεί να είναι τόσο ξένιαστο, ενώ κάποιου άλλου όχι? Οι νύχτες περνούσαν με φρικτούς πόνους, καθώς ο μετεωρισμός κυριαρχούσε στα έντερα και στο μυαλό μου. Κάθε προσπάθεια να ξελαφρώσω είχε μετατραπεί σε περίτεχνη αγχωτική ακροβασία που προϋπέθετε τέχνη και στρατηγική. Έπρεπε συνεχώς να συνδυάζω το σφίξιμο των μειών, τον παράγοντα της τύχης αλλά και του φόβου, πιέζοντας τους γλουτούς μου με δύναμη πάνω στο στρώμα, με την ελπίδα ότι αυτό θα έπνιγε τον ήχο αρκετά, ώστε να μην γίνει αντιληπτός από τους άλλους. Αλλά ο Θεός είναι το βάλσαμό μου, αναφωνεί η ψυχή μου. Επομένως, θέτω τον εαυτό μου στο έλεος του Κυρίου.
Caught up in the blender, but L and the artificial additives could be a name.
It gets worse with each suggestion.
Well, what about Elle, Lamina, and Billy?
So only you are allowed to be named?
I found the group, and besides, I take the.
Oh, no.
It was your fault.
How can it be my fault?
Guys.
Calamity.
It'll dry by the morning.
What are you talking about? It's oil. It's a death trap.
Nobody will be using the stairs tonight.
We can't leave it like this, unless you want to find cracked skulls and broken necks in the morning.
Maybe technical assistant Vim can deal with it?
No, it's late. Let's not disturb him.
Nonsense, that's his job. Youngster!
No! You deal with it.
Why don't we all deal with it? Let's find something and clean this up.
I'll get him up.
Are you okay?
I don't feel good.
This will take all night to clear this.
Maybe we could find some other mops and then it won't take so long.
It's oil. Oil on stairs. A mop alone is not enough. We need hot water and soap. A mop is just going to spread.
Okay, I don't need to hear this anymore. Oh,
What's wrong?
I feel faint.
Don't listen to her, Stones. Anything to get out of a bit of work.
But look at her. She's...
Stop!
It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. One of us can take you back.
And what about Billy and me?
If I let go, she will fall.
Welcome to our world.
With all the collectives that come here, my duty is first and foremost to support and nurture their vision. The practicalities of realizing an idea in front of an audience can be a shock to the system. The gulf between the head and the reality of the stage can be forbidding and often requires shepherding by someone
We
who
are
can
our
lead
own
the...
harshest critics, and we have these discussions by ourselves.
I appreciate that, but as someone who is supporting you, I would very much like to be involved in those conversations.
How?
By guiding you. I can see you're independent and strong-willed, and I can adjust my notes accordingly.
We don't need notes.
I understand you don't need notes, but the Institute's money is funding this, and I expect something in return.
What you get in return is this. Everything we are doing.
I'm just asking for you to engage.
Form your own culinary collective then. You go out and do this and see how you feel when someone else comes along and tells you what to do.
And how about you don't accept my support if you don't like the terms? This is still your vision. I'm just asking you to change a few things.
So it's your idea of my vision.
You don't even know what the notes are yet. Maybe they won't be so unpalatable.
That's not the point, it's the principle.
So even if you agree with a note, you won't do it.
Correct.
I'm not a big note person compared to my forebears who have held this role. I respect the artist, but if I strongly disagree with something, I will expect you to at least engage.
But you said it was wonderful last night.
Yes, it was wonderful, but that doesn't mean we can't discuss.
I found out what was wrong with the ring modulator.
It wasn't the ring modulator. I'm talking about the first half when everything was working. It's your use of a flanger I want to discuss.
What's a flanger?
It's an electronic device that mixes two signals, resulting in a phase shift.
You didn't like it?
I think it should be on a lower setting, just fractionally.
Why?
When you alter the sound that much, you lose all connection to the activity.
But that's the whole point of what we do. Why do it if it remains in the culinary context?
And why do it if it's completely divorced from it? Then it's just sonic without the catering.
So you want catering without the sonic?
The best collectives here stretched the elastic of their culinary sounds as far as they could, but there was always a connection to the source material, a semblance of what the sound once was.
We can take it out, man. It only lasted a few seconds anyway.
No.
Then mix it down?
No. Are you going to give in that easily?
You hardly notice it either way.
That's not the point.
You didn't even know what a flanger was a minute ago.
I thought she said badger.
I'm just trying to protect your vision.
Can we discuss this another time? You're ruining my graphics score with all this flanger nonsense.
If that's the case, stop what you're doing and engage with us.
Come on, Al.
I'm the boss!
How much say do you have in the band?
I don't know. I mean, Elle's the boss, but she can't do anything technical, so that's down to us. She says what she likes, what she doesn't like, but sometimes she doesn't explain herself very well, which leads to things sounding the way they do because of a misunderstanding. In fact, I'd say misunderstanding between us is probably the key to our sound.
And what made you want to be a sonic caterer?
Dunno.
Something you just fell into.
I mean, I only really knew what I didn't want to do. My parents sent me to this expensive school to help with my table manners, and it wasn't really a world I understood. I wanted something else.
Like what?
I don't know, I liked making things. I liked soldering things. I liked making noises. And it didn't really have much purpose till Elle came along.
And what was the purpose?
She had ambition, and she had ideas. It's like she could channel something that was aimless in me. And she just made things happen. And she had the confidence to do things 100%ly. And then she was fun to be around, you know.
In what way?
She would pinch my nipples.
And what happened when she did that?
I don't know, I felt good. She would say some exciting things, then I'd fiddle with myself a bit. We had this game called the finger game, where she would fiddle with herself too, and then I'd sniff her fingers. But it was never anything more than that, in case it compromised her artistic integrity.
And what about your artistic integrity?
I don't know, I mean, we got lots made during that time. Because we didn't really think about what our behaviour meant until afterwards.
So you didn't last with Elle?
I mean, we got bored. I mean, we'd sort of frisk out when we were bored, but then we got bored of frisking when we were bored, so.
Was it just the two of you in the band then?
No, there was this other guy who was doing electronics, but they fell out because of dietary differences.
Meat.
So, I mean, anyone caught eating meat in our band's dead.
And deep breath. And hold. And again. And hold. I can't even see the tail of your pancreas, what with all the globules of gas obscuring it. Who would have thought that flatulence could look so dainty?
So what now?
Throw away the pills and come in for some more examinations. Don't look so alarmed. You just need a few tubes to go down you and up you if we're going to get to the bottom of this. If the inflammation carries on like this, you aren't going to have any bowels left to fart out of.
Am I going to die?
Of course you're going to die. Name me a living thing that isn't going to die.
I mean, prematurely. I'll be okay, won't I?
You're in the shops. Billy and Lamina, you're a happy couple pushing your weekend trolley down the aisle. You bought some nice ingredients for your bourgeois frittata, but to save time, Billy, you should head to the checkout soon to reserve your place, and then Lamina can continue the shopping, pretending she forgot something and then bring items back to the trolley. It's a good idea. You see Elle heading towards you. And even though she only has a jar of saffron dust for her mousse-bouche, you make sure you beat her to the till with your half-full trolley. Lamina, you can continue shopping as long as you remember to look like you forgot something each time. Elle, you will roll your eyes now. But maybe give her the benefit of the doubt when she returns with the Gruyere cheese. Lamina, pretend to look annoyed with yourself as you remember there is just one more thing to buy. Go off and find it. Elle, glare at her when she returns with the Quatre Épices spice mix. She's gone again to grab a packet of party sticks and a ready-made tarte tatin. Elle, you've reached boiling point, but you're still holding it together. Billy and Lamina, you've paid for your items and bagged them up. You may now exit the shop and leave your trolley by the till for someone else to deal with. L. The trolley left in your way is the last straw. Push it towards them and unleash your rage.
So, this was on my school field trip, and I'd just turned 14, and the way I saw things was starting to change. Because I went to an all-boys school, and at home was just like my brother and my dad. My mum was always away directing and stuff. So the whole female idea was a bit of a mystery to me, until I went on this trip. And at the hotel we were at, there was this egg station in the breakfast parlour. And if you wanted an omelette, you would go and you'd queue up, and you'd ask this lady to cook one up for you. And she was blonde and curvaceous, and she had this uniform which kind of accentuated her curvaceous figure. I mean, she was probably like as old as my mum, and I knew she'd never really be interested in me. But I thought if I ordered an omelette, maybe it'll start some conversation. And I never actually got to know her name. I only ever knew her as the egg lady. And I remember dreaming about her squatting over my face, laying an egg into my mouth. You know, I fell in love. I know everyone says that it can't be love if you've only ordered an omelette, but it was love. And I've never felt feelings that powerful since for anyone.
Be a good chap and pass me the mint sauce, would you?
And then after, it was on the third day, I realised that if you ask her to sprinkle onions on your omelette, it would involve her bending forward to scoop them out of the onion tub. And that was when Tom Pithers saw me looking down her blouse and told Mr. Rollinson. And there was already some discussion at the table as to why I was always queuing at the egg station. But I think this new evidence damned me.
Mr. Rollinson fell out of temper and he tipped me at the table in front of everyone. I remember he sort of got me by the head and rammed me down 5 or 6 times, quite hard. And I remember seeing Matt Hornsley and Glenn Rogers sniggering at the whole thing. And then on the last hit, it knocked over the glass of milk that was on the table. And it made my ear pop. And I lost my balance. And I've always heard things a bit differently out of that ear. And Elle taught me to see that as an advantage.
Never mind your ears. What we all want to know is, do you still eat omelette?
No.
Terrible shame, young lad. All because of a formative psychosexual trauma, you're missing out on a vital source of vitamin D.
So I get it from the sun.
The sun? What about winter? Unless you're an oracle retiring from the Temple of Apollo during the coldest months, you need your vitamin D if you don't want your bones to get all rickety. You do know about the oracles?
You're an oracle is stupid.
Now, everyone.
Oracle of stupidity?
You didn't tell me that was going to be your speech.
So what?
It'd just be nice to be across these things in order for us to have a consistency of vision.
What do you mean by consistency?
What do I mean by consistency? By consistency, I mean not undermining my speech, which was all about male domestic oppression. Everything you said dismantled the polemics, the irony,
At least mine was personal.
So sexually objectifying women cooking for men is fine as long as it's personal?
Can we go to sleep?
So you don't believe there is such a thing as male domestic oppression?
Of course I believe there is such a thing as male domestic oppression. But what also needs to be spoken about is L creative oppression.
What about?
Not what about.
You're straying from the topic.
Okay, back on topic. I have another household tip you could have incorporated into your next after-dinner speech. Staying up all night, mopping up extra virgin olive oil from the staircase, when the person who spilled it can walk away from it all without even uttering a thank you.
Thank you, Lamina.
Billy.
Thank you, Billy.
And don't forget to thank Stones.
What is he doing in there?
He practically lives in that toilet.
He keeps denying there's anything wrong.
Well, there is something wrong. I hear him fart at night. Whenever he thinks we're asleep, he lets them slide out one after the other.
And you never fart?
Not as much as that.
Can you stop? I'm trying to sleep.
How many times do you fart?
Never. I don't fart.
Of course you fart.
Have you ever heard me fart?
No. But it's biologically impossible not to fart.
There's a lot of things biologically impossible when it comes to L.
They say the average person farts around 14 times.
Are you okay? You know, I was reading about cloves. They dispel the air from the intestine in a nice, gentle, and noiseless way.
I've been talking to Dr. Glock.
And what does he say?
He wants to do some tests.
La lamina propria, aussi corium, est un tissu conjonctif lâche qui se trouve sous l'épithélium qui recouvre entre autres les muqueuses digestives, respiratoires et urogénitales. C'est un tissu qui est constitué en proportion quasi équivalente de cellules, fibroblastes, cellules de l'immunité, cytosines, collagène et substances fondamentales. 22% fosfolipide, 8% colesterol, 42% et une quantité variable de tissu élastique, la muscularis mucosae calcite les mouvements de la muqueuse. Chaque pilosité contient dans sa lamina propria un capillaire lymphatique nommé l'astéal qui absorbe les produits.
Γιατί δέχτηκα να υποβληθώ δημόσια σε γαστροσκόπηση? Γιατί δεν μπορούσα να είμαι πιο αποφασιστικός? Ο γιατρός Γκλοκ πήρε ένα δείγμα από το λεπτό μου έντερο για να διενεργήσει βιοψία. Όπως ήταν φυσικό, φοβόμουν για το χειρότερο και ενώ γύρω μου εκτιλήσονταν σκηνές ειδονισμού, εγώ έβλεπα μονάχα δυστυχία.
How did you meet her?
She was bullying my dad, and my mum came back from a film shoot in the jungle and caught her pinching his nipples. She tried to pretend she was scratching a mosquito bite, but my mum saw right through it. I mean, she knew a thing or two about mosquitoes after shooting in the jungle. So my mum moved out, I moved in. It kind of didn't really matter to me because I never saw my mum anyway and kind of hated her for it. In a way, I was happy because I finally landed myself a mum who'd be around a bit more.
So, she became your mother?
Kind of. I mean, she left the cooking for my dad like my mum did. But the fact we kind of fiddled around sometimes maybe and mothered things between us. Yeah. In a way, I think Elle needed a father figure after years of being away at boarding school.
She told me she went to a rundown school.
Maybe she meant the hockey changing rooms. I remember her saying those needed doing up.
Lamina?
She just went to a regular school, I think.
No, I mean, how did you meet her?
Oh, she worked at a restaurant, and then Elle got into a fight there. and they ended up getting involved with each other. Because Lamina's really secretive about food, and Elle found that fascinating. But then she got too secretive, and now Elle got bored. But, you know, by that point, all sorts of things had already happened between them, and they ended up hating each other. But there's not really anything new between us. We all kind of hate each other anyway, even though we do need each other.
Η νύχτα ήταν μια κόλαση. Κράμπες, φούσκωμα και μεθάνιο στην πιο φρικτή τους εκδοχή. Η σιγή που επικρατούσε στους περιπάτους περισυλλογής σύντομα μετατράπηκε από γαλήνια σε εχθρική, πράγμα που δυσχέραινε ακόμα περισσότερο τις προσπάθειές μου να υπομείνω όσα περνούσα. Σε αυτό το κλίμα δεν υπήρχε πουθενά να κρυφτώ και η σιωπή έπνιγε κάθε σκέψη για αναπόλυση.
Mind if I join you? How are you finding your time here? Has Elle decided on a name yet? And the flanger? You don't look happy.
It's hard to eat and talk.
Why? Most people manage.
Maybe I have a small mouth.
Really? Let me see.
Not now.
Show me. That doesn't look small to me. Here. Let's compare sizes. You see? Almost the same. Perfect match, even. Haven't you read that thing enough times? Mind if I borrow it?
What?
Oh, you look a little lost without it.
It's just something to hold.
And what if I gave you something else to hold?
I think Elle's waiting for me out there.
Oh, really? And you do everything Elle says?
She's the boss.
And how does that make you feel?
I just make my noises.
I was reading about you and your noises.
Yeah?
You gave an interview, remember?
Yeah.
I read it with great interest, and at times I thought to myself, this can't be true. Do you know something? I always wanted to be an egg lady. You could queue up for an omelette, and I'd serve you first.
Cheers. Jane, Stephen.
It's okay. It's okay. I need you, Billy. Ever since I first met you, I've been thinking about you. I know I need to be professional, but I can't stop thinking about you, and I know you feel the same about me. Jan Stevens? Why are you doing this? I do wonder sometimes if you're perpetuating an archetype of Epicurean toxicity with all this culinary hysteria. I don't want to give the public the impression we're espousing any kind of dysfunctional alimentary ideology.
So what do you want? The happy chefs?
You know, what I would appreciate is for you to take some of my ideas on board. Just because I'm not involved in the making of your sacred art doesn't mean my ideas lack validity. You don't have to agree with everything, but to dismiss every opinion of mine out of hand when I've chosen to fund you and promote you above dozens of others reeks of entitlement rather than your perceived notion of integrity.
Okay. We are all ears.
That's all I wanted to say. There are critical forces beyond me out there, believe it or not, and to make you aware of them is part of my job, even if you choose not to subscribe to them. And that flanger...
The flanger is staying.
I'm just asking you to turn it down a notch. You can keep the Epicurean toxicity, but indulge me on the flanger, please.
Stones. Stones.
What?
Are you okay?
No. Just go back to bed. There's nothing you can do.
Any news about the tests?
No. Maybe tomorrow. But he's got another test planned.
I'm sorry.
Is it okay to say I'm scared?
It's okay.
I am.
Stones, it will be okay. I know it. You heard me?
Flanger.
What about it?
Did you talk to her about it?
She's not going to change anything. Once she decides something, there's nothing you can do. And if I try and say anything, she just shouts and accuses me of something.
Maybe you should think about slapping her then.
Oh, don't say I told you. But a quick slap always does the trick. Might shock her out of her entrenched arrogance. And what if you muted the flanger? Chances are she wouldn't notice anyway what was all the other noise going on.
You don't know how angry she gets. And she'll notice now she knows what a flanger is.
Just try it.
I don't know. I don't want to start a fight and then...
You'll turn the flanger off.
I will turn the flanger off.
And you will convince Elle to do everything I say from now.
And I will convince Elle to do everything you say from now.
Good.
Οι διαπληκτισμοί ανάμεσα στη Τζαν Στίβενς και τα μέλη της ομάδας γίνονταν ολοένα και πιο έντονοι. Και η κλιμακούμενη απειλή που συνιστούσε η ομάδα των Mangrove Snacks αύξανε περισσότερο την ένταση. Η ενέργειά μου βρισκόταν σε ιστορικά χαμηλό επίπεδο. Ένιωθα τα έντερά μου σκληρά και δίσκαμπτα, σαν σκουριασμένους σωλήνες, και ένιωθα ότι η κατάστασή μου ολοένα και χειροτέρευε.
Jan Stevens.
Αύριο, ένας μακρύς σωλήνας εμποτισμένος με λιπαντικό θα εισχωρήσει βαθιά στο παχύ μου έντερο και θα απελευθερώσει αέρια κάνοντάς το να φουσκώσει. Ο γιατρός Γκλοκ μου έδωσε ένα καθαρτικό, το οποίο θα με εγκλώβησε στην τουαλέτα για το μεγαλύτερο μέρος της νύχτας. Αλλά προτού τους παραχωρήσω το σώμα μου, έπρεπε να ετοιμάσω ένα δείγμα κοπράνων. Ιδού, κύριε, αντικρίστε τον πόνο μου. Υποφέρουν τα έντερά μου. Συνεταράχθη η καρδιά μου. Τίποτα δεν μπορεί να με παρηγορήσει.
1, 2, 3.
Her ability to provoke for the sake of provocation began to wane. Once she got a taste of scandal, she became addicted. And it soon became a distraction from the work Billy and I were doing. Yet she knew that the shock value and polemics would make a bigger noise than anything we could do.
Could you survive without her?
Yes. But Billy and I were always intuitive in our approach. Elle always did the applications for funding and always knew how to word things, which I always envied. I was always led to believe that the visceral urge I had about making culinary sound wasn't valid unless backed up by theory or at least the kind of conceptual package that Elle could pull together. Sound always excited me and transformed me, but I could never explain why.
What made you want to be a sonic caterer?
Maybe my mother. My father only ever went to the kitchen to eat, and I saw what it did to my mother. She silently cooked and washed the dishes, pretending it couldn't be any other way. And he took her for granted, never once considering himself it could be another way. And besides, he earned the money, even though she had to brush her own dreams and ambitions under the carpet to facilitate his earnings. She later claimed that no woman should live like this, but when my brother's girlfriend moved in with him and didn't do her share of the cooking, she resented her. Jealousy usurped ideology, and it was clear that my mother expected other women to work as hard as she did in the kitchen, even though she knew it wasn't the way it should be. That struggle in her head between demanding freedom from the kitchen and being confined to it contaminated my brother's relationship and resulted in him leaving his girlfriend. And then my mother picked on my girlfriend, who turned out to be Elle. And even lazier than my father, yeah, I was the one doing the cooking in the relationship.
How did you meet her?
She got into a fight in the restaurant where I worked. Some creep kept groping one of my colleagues, and she came to her defense. I felt awful for not helping, but that was Elle. And like me, she was fearless, and she would stand up for vulnerable people, even if she'd lose. So she told him to leave my colleague alone, and he punched her hard in the womb. But she fought back, even if it resulted in her being kicked to the ground by this thug and his friends. And after that, we became friends, and then bandmates, and then lovers. Only I left her for someone I was bowling, and since then it's been nothing but mini punishments from her.
She told me you were secretive about food.
Sorry?
Just that. She was curious.
How do you mean?
Nothing. Just doesn't matter.
Er besuchte mich zweimal pro Jahr, da er sich solche exotischen Bestrafungen von seinem Einkommen nicht öfter leisten konnte. Er würde sich den Tag für seinen Besuch freinehmen, da unser Ritual einer gewissen Zeitdehnung bedurfte. Nach unserer obligatorischen, leichten Unterhaltung befahl ich ihm, ins Zimmer zu gehen, wo er auf mich in seinem formellen Outfit warten sollte. Meine Verhaltensweise würde sich drastisch ändern und ich nahm eine andere Persönlichkeit an, für die er mich bezahlte, so für ihn zu sein. Nachdem ich ihm befahl, meine Füße so lange zu massieren, wie ich es wollte, nahm ich ihn an die Leine und spazierte mit ihm zu einer besonderen Toilette, wo ich seinen Kopf hineinplatzieren konnte, während seine Hände auf beiden Seiten mit Handschellen befestigt waren. Hier war er ganz meinem Band unterworfen und würde so lange bleiben, wie ich es wollte. Das Geräusch meiner heranschreitenden Schritte verursachte ihm Schwindel mit gemischten Gefühlen von Angst und Erregung. Und er würde oft erwähnen, dass diese Erwartung und Drohung weitaus potenter seien als die schlussendliche Bestrafung. Er erklärte, dass dieses Eingesperrtsein in diesem engen Raum all den Stress der Pflege für seine kranke Mutter von ihm nahm.
den hilflosen Zorn, den er anhand seiner rücksichtslosen und herablassenden Gäste des erstklassigen Restaurants, dem er beschäftigt war, erlitt. Er fand innerlichen Frieden in diesem hilflosen Zustand, in meiner Gewalt, und wenn dann seine Bestrafung endlich nach mehreren Stunden stiller Erwartung eintraf, empfand er es als tiefgreifende Erlösung. Unter normalen Umständen empfand er es als abscheulich. Jedoch, wenn ich über ihn saß und ihn als meine Toilette benutzte, verwandelte sich sein gesamtes Wesen in etwas jenseits von Ekstase. Er betrachtete Rituale wie diese als fast religiös, als ob was aus meinem Körper entsprang, einer heiligen Kommunion entsprach. Die Momente nach seinem selbst dabei geführten Orgasmus waren immer mit Bedacht zu navigieren, sobald ihm bewusst wurde, wie viel Reinigung danach nötig war. Jedoch endeten diese Rituale immer auf höfliche Art und Weise und mit ein paar flüchtigen Worten über das Wohlbefinden meiner Chrysanthemen auf dem Balkon.
Φοβόμουν να προχωρήσω με την κολονοσκόπηση. Αλλά η Ελ το αντιστάθμισε με την παράστασή της με θέμα την κοπρολαγνία, η οποία σόκαρε το κοινό σε τέτοιο βαθμό που κανείς δεν τόλμησε να περάσει στα παρασκήνια για ερωτικές περιπτύξεις. Τώρα, εάν θα υποβαλόμουν σε αυτή την επέμβαση ενώπιον κοινού ή όχι, πλέον σε αυτό το στάδιο δεν έκανε καμία διαφορά. Τα πάντα συγχέονταν και μετατρέπονταν σε μια ενιαία θολούρα. Ο τεχνικός Βιμ κατήγγειλε την Ελ στη Τζαν Στίβενς επειδή παραπλάνησε το κοινό με μου σοκολάτας αντί για τα κοπρανά μου. Κάτι που διάβρωσε ακόμα πιο ανεπανόρθωτα την εμπιστοσύνη μεταξύ τους. Όμως πιο σημαντικό ήταν ότι τα μέλη της ομάδας γίνονταν ολοένα και πιο εχθρικά το ένα προς το άλλο. Και το μόνο που μπορούσα να κάνω ήταν αυτό για το οποίο με είχαν προσλάβει, να καταγράφω. Η δεύτερη απόπειρα κολονοσκόπησης καραδοκούσε, την οποία η Ελ, όπως ήταν αναμενόμενο, ήθελε να μετατρέψει σε σκηνική παράσταση. Το γιατί δέχτηκα να συμμετέχω στα σχέδιά της πραγματικά αδυνατό να το καταλάβω. Ήταν μήπως η πειθό της? Ήταν εν τέλει η ευκαιρία να συμμετέχω σε μια ολοκληρωμένη καλλιτεχνική προσπάθεια, ή μήπως απλά οφειλόταν στην εξορκιστική μου ανικανότητα να θέτω όρια, λέγοντας όχι στους άλλους?
Mangrove snacks.
Looks like one of your installations.
You would say that.
No, but seriously, we could use this.
But it's a terrapin. Since when did we do anything with meat? We've always been about fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds.
Don't forget eggs, Billy.
You'll never let me live that down, will you?
You're the one who announced that you're struggling with an egg fetish.
It is not a fetish.
So having white dreams about hotel staff laying eggs is not a fetish? Not to mention sexually objectifying the uniforms of the poorly paid.
Oh. Oh. What was that for? Stop it, all of you!
John Stevens.
The mangrove snacks have paid us another visit. I've called the police force and they'll come and take fingerprints. Nobody is to touch anything. And whatever equipment was left here will have to be examined.
Why didn't the youngster pack everything? That was his job.
Technical assistant Vim is not your servant. He does what he can.
But whatever was left here, we'll have to go for fingerprinting. Including this.
You set this up.
Don't be ridiculous.
How convenient for you.
We can live without the flanger.
You're in cahoots. This is a conspiracy.
Until the authorities say otherwise, we'll have to put a pause on proceedings. Get some rest, it'll do you good. You might also consider the fact that we're still waiting for you to decide on a band name.
L and the gastric ulcers. See? They always undermining me.
Is that your final name?
Yes. I don't know. Maybe?
Okay. Sleep on it then. But hurry up. Unless you want me to come up with a name for you. You know, when this residency's over, you'll still have that catalogue.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make more sense to appreciate the things that might not be around much longer?
What?
You've had your fun, now it's back to the stupid catalogue.
I didn't know we were serious.
We're not. But there's something between serious and being completely ignored. I just like some affection, or is that too much to ask?
Why did you know,
Why did I what?
why did you chase me?
Why do you think? Because I liked you.
Wasn't because of this flanger business.
There's no flanger business.
So you'd still allow me in your bed even if we kept the flanger?
Of course. Even 2 flangers.
Would you allow me in your bed after the residency's over?
Yes. What's wrong? We can make this work if you want to.
I don't know. It's just starting to feel heavy. You know?
Look, if this is about the flanger, we can put all of that.
It's not about the flanger. Oh, I don't know, maybe the flanger's got me thinking.
Thinking what?
We have a tour coming up and...
I can do international love.
Look, I like you, Jan. But...
So that's it then?
Well, we could ball each other at one of the orgies.
That's really constructive of you, Billy.
Well, I should probably go. I think they're already asking questions.
Do you know something, Billy? In all the years I've done this, I've always maintained a distance. It didn't matter how attracted I was or how lonely it got in this bedroom. I've always remained professional. You were the first person to ignite something in me to such a degree that I couldn't stop myself. I really didn't want to be one of those people using my position to seduce someone, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Can't we try somehow to make it work?
Sometimes love can mean more by walking away.
Not the catalogue. No, don't go, Billy. No.
Billy, I need you to stay. No, don't go, Billy. Please stay. I need you. Please, Billy. It wasn't the flanger, I swear. It wasn't the flanger.
Ξαναπήρα την καθαρτική σκόνη και αυτή τη φορά δεν υπήρχε διαφυγή από την εξέταση του παχαίου συντέρου μου. Εφόσον ο γιατρός Γκλοκ ήταν ο performer, η Λάμινα και ο Μπίλι επέτρεψαν στην Ελ να πάει μαζί τους και να παίξει με το equalizer, αρκεί να μην ήταν στο ρεύμα. Πλέον η Ελ έβρισκε ότι οι ηχητικές και παραστασιακές δυνατότητες του γαστρεντερικού μου συστήματος ήταν σαγηνευτικές. Αλλά το να τις φανερώσει επί σκηνής ενώπιον κοινού ήταν λάθος. Κάτι τόσο προσωπικό να θυσιαστεί στο βωμό της τέχνης.
Stones. Stones. Are you okay?
Leave me alone.
Any news about the flanger?
I don't know. These things take time.
She did it on purpose.
Come on, you really think she orchestrated the whole thing?
She did it for her advantage. She didn't take the hob away for fingerprints, but she took the flanger.
So what do you suggest?
Stop that.
Yeah, all right.
So, she holds police parties as well as billy parties. I could have told you that one erection would never be enough for someone like her. Said you weren't invited?
No.
You always have to spill your night juice wherever you go. But to do it to a patron is your #1 disgrace. You're incorrigible. You know that, Billy Rubin? You've jeopardized our residency with that silly willy of yours.
You jeopardized it with your silly...
Silly what? See? You can't even to shave.
Wait till I write my memoirs.
Huh, threatening me again? You write those memoirs.
I will.
Okay, fine. Just don't forget to write about that stupid salami you hide in your bed.
Stop it! For all our arguments as a group, the one thing that united us was a quest for catharsis. Maybe we disagreed on what we define as catharsis, but we were all harboring something that needed purging.
And could I ask what you were harboring?
Just things.
Could you elaborate?
Does knowing about our demons make any difference to what you hear?
Only that Elle was very open about hers.
Not as open as you'd like to think. I know about Miss Lindenson. I know what really happened. The only person laughing at her going into anaphylactic shock was Elle herself. A comical-looking, puffed-up face, just like in the movies.
But surely she didn't know she was going to die.
But she still laughed, until it was too late.
But she was a tiny girl.
But she's an adult now, and she still can't face herself. For Elle, it's easier to reinvent the past, to gain people's sympathy, than to confront the guilt and risk people's anger. Elle's father was at the party, and he slapped her hard in the face for laughing. So yes, that tragedy did affect her, but not in the way she'd like you to believe.
You're in the shops. You're lost in the aisles. Back and forth, back and forth. A thought is troubling you. Could it be the absence of the ghetto de menage that is playing tricks on the mind? Or the sight of Dan, the twilight replenishment operative coming back from his shift to search for a mystery Chartreuse elixir végétal? Or is it something else? A cake from the past that never leaves you alone and follows you into the shops? I certainly hope not. You're feeling tired, but you can't leave until you've shopped. Your fellow customers are collapsing all around you, one by one. They call it the retail malady, and one by one, you will all succumb to it.
Ήταν η τελευταία τους επίσκεψη στα μαγαζιά και ίσως και η δική μου. Το ραντεβού με τον γιατρό Γκλοκ ήταν στις 9 το πρωί. Η σκέψη της επικείμενης διάγνωσης Με γέμιζε με τρόμο, με βασάνιζε ακατάπαυστα. Νύχτες σαν κι αυτές, ίσως είναι κάτι που πρέπει να εκμεταλλευτώ στο έπακρο, επειδή ενδέχεται να είναι οι τελευταίες μου.
So, your results are in. And how do I say this? You have wait. I think I left something at home. I could have sworn. I know I had it by the front door.
What do I have?
I was going to tell you.
Tell me, what do I have?
Celiac disease.
What?
Celiac disease. It's okay. Your villi are a mess, but you'll live.
What is it?
It's an autoimmune. Let me go.
Keep talking. What do I need to take?
You don't need to take anything. Avoid gluten. Avoid gluten and you'll be fine.
Tell me more.
It's in wheat. Avoid bread, pasta, beer, pastries, and Christmas pudding.
What?
Christmas pudding.
Η αλλαγή στη διατροφή μου ήταν δύσκολη. Η γλουτένη καραδοκούσε ακόμα και στις τροφές οι οποίες υποτίθεται ότι δεν την περιλαμβάνουν, λόγω της διασποράς της από άλλα τρόφιμα. Και πέρα από αυτό, υπήρχε και το ζήτημα των κοινωνικών συναναστροφών, για το οποίο κανείς δεν με είχε προειδοποιήσει. Η δυσανασχέτιση και τα αποδοκιμαστικά βλέμματα όλων εκείνων που ήταν πεπισμένοι ότι απλά ήμουν υπερβολικός ή έκανε τον δύσκολο. Εκτός αυτού, έπρεπε να αντιμετωπίσω και την εχθρική συμπεριφορά κάποιων σερβιτόρων, οι οποίοι ένιωθαν ότι θίγεται το κύρος τους όταν τους ρωτούσα για το ενδεχόμενο διασποράς της γλουτένης. Εν τούτοις, σταδιακά η αλλαγή στη διατροφή μου εξομάλυνε την κατάστασή μου, επαναφέροντας την καθημερινότητά μου σε μια κανονικότητα. Ήμουν επιτέλους ξανά στο μονοπάτι προς τη σωματική υγεία και ευεξία. Για την παρουσίαση της διάγνωσής μου, η Τζαν Στίβενς ανακοίνωσε μια λιγότερο επίσημη περιβολή. Jeans.
Does this thing?
Too tired to say my name.
What do you want?
A peace offering.
So your policeman friends didn't find fingerprints?
Clearly not. And I thought you'd like it back for your final performance.
So you're allowing us to use our flanger?
I'll just leave it here. You decide whether to use it or not.
This is what I think about your piece of freak. What are you laughing at?
The prospect of giving an after-dinner speech is somewhat daunting. Some people relish the idea of having an audience enthralled to even the most meager of their thought processes, but the rest of us have no great urge to communicate with the world and struggle to do so. I acknowledge the fact that this is compulsory, but I can't pretend to find it easy. In fact, I resent it. Sorry.
Lamina, if you're that uncomfortable, we can forgo the whole thing.
Any excuse for her to shirk.
No. I can do it. And I'm going to continue. I consulted various guides on after-dinner speaking, and I'm now ready to bring life to this room with the news that after this residency is over, I'm going to leave the group.
What?
You don't believe me?
What would you do?
When Hephaestus was thrown off Olympus...
Not you. Not you. I don't need your metatextual, pseudo-Hellenic, alpha-intellectual one-upmanship on top of everything else. There are plenty of things I could do, El, dearest, as long as they don't involve being anywhere near you. In fact, I'm going solo.
Without me, it's not going to work. You know that. No voice, no ideas, no vision. Technique without visions? No.
Because you think it's gonna work without me?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even know what a flanger was until a few days ago.
Just stay. We can talk this out, man.
You're welcome to join if you want.
Billy, no.
Well, I'm not staying if Lamina leaves.
You set this up.
I did no such...
So now it's my fault.
I didn't say...
You don't have to say. You orchestrated all of this with loving precision. Have a stupid day.
No, 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 no. No.
El, stop it! Hang in there, El.
I'm sorry.
We'll get you some help.
Where's Dr. Glock?
He's gone. Can't you see? What did you expect?
I finally have the name for our band.
Tell us, El. Please tell us.
And
What was that? What did you say?
Tell us again, El.
Hell.
Για την Ελ, τα πάντα περιστρέφονταν γύρω από μια παράσταση και αυτό δεν ήταν διαφορετικό. Αν μη τι άλλο, γι' αυτό προετοιμαζόταν όλη της τη ζωή. Κι εγώ είχα εμπλακεί συναισθηματικά σε υπερβολικό βαθμό για να μπορώ να πω όχι ακόμα και σε μια κουταλιά. Ο όσο για μένα, επιτέλους, ένιωθα την ικανοποίηση ότι ανήκω κάπου.